We thank you for your service.
Brought to you by the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
It's time for the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show on Up North Sports Radio with your host, Rich Calkins.
Group on Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you this morning. And we had all kinds of basketball action around the North last night, but we also have a lot of basketball taking place. And certainly the verb of Northern Michigan today is Cadillac. And head coach Ryan Benzenberg of Cadillac, you're hosting a big Jeff McDonald Memorial Showcase today.
Yeah, good morning, guys. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it. Always good to catch up. And yeah, it's a pretty special day for Cadillac. Anyone that's been associated with our program for any amount of time knows that Coach Jeff McDonald was the guy that built this program over his 20-year career. And unfortunately, he passed away a handful of years ago from that nasty pancreatic cancer. But today we're going to honor him. We have the second annual Jeff McDonald Memorial Showcase, where the idea was to kind of bring some Northern Michigan teams south and bring some Southern Michigan teams north and kind of pit some competition against teams that typically wouldn't see each other. Coach McDonald was always such a proponent of how much better Northern Michigan basketball is than it was typically given credit for. So it should be a great night. We're really excited to not only welcome his wife Penny, but his three boys, Travis, Matt, and Kyle, back to the gym today. And it's just going to be a great night, and just really excited for it.
Now, Coach, is that you don't play till later on? You're the last game of the night around 6 o'clock. Are you going to be hanging out at the gym all day long?
So I have an action-packed day ahead of me, guys. I'm going to be up in the gym here in about 15, 20 minutes, get some stuff set up. Then I'm actually driving to McBain to coach my son's fourth grade team. We play 2 games at noon and 1 o'clock, and then I'm going to drive back to Cadillac, and I'll be up at the gym the rest of the day for as much of the games as I can see, that's for sure.
Right. Well, you need more to do, Coach.
Yeah, life is busy this time of year, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I have a fourth grade son who is starting to get the itch and the love for it, and I want to support him through that as much as I can. So it kind of gives me some decompression time to coach those little tykes too.
Yeah, that's the only age group I ever coached, from 4th to 6th graders, Coach, and it's so much different than when you're advancing, but it's part of our task to get kids involved, enjoy it, and get better.
I would agree with that, and we do a heck of a lot more practicing than we do playing games. And
right.
I think, in my humble opinion, youth travel basketball is one of the reasons that we're falling behind to some other countries in this world, because we're always worried about playing games versus developing some skills. So we'll go out there, run around, but we build skill as much as we can, and more importantly, building some relationships between our high school kids and our younger kids is, in my opinion, such an important part of continuing that culture that everyone talks about. The buzzword is culture. Right. But getting some relationships built so our little kids can see what it's supposed to look like. So when they get up there, they kind of know what the responsibility is, and they usually, most of the time, jump at the chance to try to do it.
So do you take a couple of kids from the team along with you?
So we have a couple of our kids show up to practice a couple times a week. We actually have 5 different. We have this league. Actually, talk about more stuff to do. I actually run this league. It's called the Rising Stars Northern Michigan Travel League, and we have 37 teams in it. But Cadillac has 5 teams in it. So we try to have a couple of our high school kids show up to practices weekly with our little guys. So that's very important to me. And our kids, particularly this group, this varsity team that I have, they take that responsibility really serious and enjoy it. And our little kids love seeing them. So it's a pretty cool thing.
It is, Coach. And I got home in time last night to watch some of the highlights, 9 and 10 and all of that. And one of the things that I thought was super cool that took place last night at the girls' game in Cadillac was that your team got out there and played some scrimmage games and some things like that with Special Olympians. And I just thought that was a super cool thing.
Yeah, so it's called Unified, and we're actually doing the same thing next Friday at our game with Traverse City West. I'm sure you'll be in the house for that.
I will, yeah.
That same team will get a second opportunity to scrimmage as well, and just a really cool event. I got to give some shout outs to our athletic director, Fred Bryant. His daughter, Taylor Bryant, is an assistant athletic director, and she's really picked that up and ran with it. And to be able to give those kids an opportunity, I've actually been to a couple of those practices, and the joy that those kids have to hang out with varsity players, but to get a uniform on, get out there and play. Our crowd was amazing last night with them. Anytime one of those kids got a shot or scored, the crowd went crazy. And, stuff like that makes some of the problems that we face every day not seem so big, because for them to be able to persevere through and have their 5 minutes of fame, quote unquote, I think it's just a really cool thing, and I'm happy to be part of it for sure.
Coach, for all the gym rats watching and listening, lay out today's schedule at Cadillac, because you've got a serious amount of basketball.
Yeah, so at noon today, we're excited to welcome down Benzie Central. I've developed a really nice relationship with Coach Crocker up there, and he's a really strong Division III team this year and wanted to get involved. So he's going to play against Bay City Western, who's a Division I team in the Saginaw Valley League. And, the record doesn't indicate it, but the Saginaw Valley League, as you guys know, is big boy basketball. So be a great game for Benzie, and hope our friends from the north can represent well. Second game, we'll have Petoskey coming down to play against Grand Rapids Union. And then the third game at 4 o'clock will be the Traverse City West Titans taking on Sparta. Sparta has a couple of really nice players. And then we'll finish it up at 6 o'clock tonight playing against a very formidable Dearborn-Fortson team.
Yeah, Coach, that's exciting basketball there. So I got a chance to see the Dearborn High team last night. And I tell you, pretty impressive group of young players right there.
Oh, yeah, they're legit. I've been following, and they don't monkey around. They are very well coached, super skilled, and play ridiculously hard. So I was a little surprised with the margin of victory, because I think West is playing so good right now.
Yes.
But from what I could see, some of the size bothered West a little bit, and maybe the speed of it was a little bit faster than they were accustomed to, and just couldn't get themselves back in the game. But Doug's done a really nice job with TC West up there as well, and he's changed some culture. And I'm sure we'll get to the game that we lost Tuesday, but very similar to the game we lost Tuesday. I bet you, if you talk to Coach Ballman, although they lost, they'll be able to take some positives out of that and figure out a way to make it sting enough to burn, but enough to fix some stuff so it doesn't happen again.
Coach, what do you think the genesis is of all these showcases now in the middle of the year? I mean, I don't want to sound like an old school fuddy-duddy, but the only time we ever did this when I was playing is over Christmas. But now you have all these showcases popping up. I got people sending me texts about one that's happening in Grand Rapids today, and then another one in 2 weeks. And I don't know how long this has been going on. It's kind of popped up in our radar for just the past couple of years, but now all of a sudden it's everywhere.
Yeah, I think two things have a big play on that, particularly in Northern Michigan. A, the MHSAA allowing bumping our schedule up to 22 games versus 20. So adding the ability to play 2 extra regular season games, I think gives everybody some flexibility to try to think outside the box a little bit. And then also, like, I've been in what I would call Northern Michigan since 1997. In the amount of skill, the leap in skill and the leap of dedication to the sport of basketball is so much higher than it was when I first got here. So teams are trying to challenge themselves with some outside competition that you normally wouldn't see, and doing it on a Tuesday night or a Thursday or Friday night isn't always feasible for travel purposes. So anytime you can put something, like, I'll use our case, the chances of Coach Mo being able to bring his team up during the week just is not possible, and us traveling all the way down there probably wouldn't happen either. But so be able to do that on a Saturday and kind of make an event out of it, I think has also really helped. But those 2 extra games really gives teams some flexibility.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Coach. And you're right, Coach. We do want to touch base on the game that took place Tuesday night against Whitehall. a team very good, undefeated, one of the top teams in Division II. You guys battled them right up until the very end as Whitehall came out with the win, 58-56.
Absolutely. Really, really good basketball game. Two very good teams, in my opinion, played. They made a couple plays late, and we didn't. We had four trips in the fourth quarter where we had 3 turnovers and a missed layup, and against a team of that caliber, that is very hard to overcome. You know, we were up by as much as 7 in the first half. They got up by as much as 4 or 5, so it was nip and tuck the whole way. Their top to bottom is really solid. Obviously, they have the Thompson kid who is a freakish athlete and has a bunch of D1 offers already, but he's not the lone soldier. There's plenty of talent there, and some guys stepped up and scored. But overall, like, am I mad we lost? Yes. Obviously, we want to win every game, but to be able to play a game that doesn't really hurt anything, everything that we want, conference championship, district championship, and farther, is still out in front of us, right? It's not going to hurt anything as far as that goes. So to be able to challenge ourselves against a really quality opponent in the middle of the season is something that I'll sign up for all the time, because we'll take more from that game than any game that you win by 15 or 20 points. It's just, you got to be dialed in for 32 minutes, and we have not been in a bunch of those. A lot of our games have been double-digit games, so making sure our kids are dialed in for the full 32 minutes is something that we're constantly trying to get better at.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And sometimes, Coach, like you said, you never want to lose, but every once in a while, a loss really helps refocus a team, and I'm sure that will be the case here with your team.
It's funny you say that. We were in the locker room after the game, and I said something to the effect of, so if Charlie makes that layup and we block out on a free throw and we win this game, does that make the mistakes that we made burn less? The answer is probably yes, because we got the win.
Yeah.
However, does this sting enough? Is it burning enough to make us make those corrections so we get the win next time? And I'm interested to see. Tonight will be interesting because this will be our first game since that loss, and we've had 2 pretty competitive practices. I gave them Wednesday off, and we practiced Thursday, Friday. And I don't want to say they were mad at each other, but it was some of the more chippy, aggressive practices we've had, and I wonder if that was because they don't like the taste that they had in their mouth after the game Tuesday.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's losing a close, hard-fought game in the middle of the season can be a magic elixir to help motivate the team for sure.
Yeah, we hope that's the case, and we'll find out tonight at 6 o'clock, I suppose.
What do you know about Dearborn Fortson, Coach?
Yeah, so we've watched a bunch. Obviously, they have the big kid. I would try to say his name, but I'll do it a disservice. But he's 6'10". He's going to play at Central next year. Super nice athlete. I actually met their team yesterday. They had a shoot-around at one of our gyms, so I went over to the school to welcome him in. And super nice kid. I had an opportunity to spend 5 minutes talking to him, and seems pretty humble. He can do it all. He's 6'10". He puts it on the floor. He can shoot the 3-ball. Can play a little bit back to the basket, but they have a really nice point guard that's big and strong senior that's been around, and they start a 5'7" sophomore who is really quick. So they press a little bit, so I'm interested to see how our team can deal with that. Conversely, like, they're, other than the big kid, they're not going to match up height-wise with us, so I'm interested to see, do they try to play zone? If that's the case, if we can knock shots down, I think we'll be in a good spot. But how are we going to, because we typically play man-to-man, like, how are we going to run around and chase these little guys that they have, because we have so much length? So that'll be something for me to keep an eye on, and who wins that defensive battle.
And I'm sure you've got somebody fired up to try to shut this the 6'10" kid down, especially, it sounds like a little bit of a unicorn, so there's no way to prep for that in practice.
No, it's really hard. We talked about yesterday in our film review. Look, he's going to get some. I mean, he's a Division I player. We just want him to work. We want him to have to expend some energy for every shot attempt he gets. It will be defense by committee. We'll have a bunch of guys guard him. Fortunately for us, we have 6'7", 6'6", 6'6", so everybody will get a crack at him. Try to keep a fresh body him all the time. But we're excited. Actually, my guy Charlie Howell played some AAU ball against him, and was able to, when we were scouting him a little bit, going through film yesterday, Charlie's like, hey, when we played, he did this and this, and was able to add some value to the player personnel part of our scout yesterday. So it'll be a fun game. We're going to play hard. I can tell they're very well coached, and I'm excited to see how we play against them.
Yeah, and Charlie, obviously, being one of your leaders and one of your top scorers, top defenders, he does it all, Coach. That's going to be a fascinating matchup, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So hopefully we do the little things right tonight for 32 minutes and we get back on the winning track. But overall, I'll pry bar a little plug in addition to the Coach McDonald portion of today's events. We're also welcoming back the 2013, 2014, and 2015 teams. All three of those teams made it to the Breslin Center to the Final Four. And we're doing a little Hall of Fame induction ceremony during the halftime of our game tonight.
Wow.
And doing a little reception after with them. So super cool day to be a Cadillac Viking, that's for sure.
No doubt.
Yeah, and that's important, Coach, to do things like that, to recognize those teams that made it that far. That just helps continue to build the program, and the community loves that. So what a great idea.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I was fortunate enough to be a part of those three, so I'm looking forward to seeing some former guys that I haven't seen in a while that now have wife and kids and real jobs, and we'll be able to catch up on some stuff. So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, well, you have a busy day ahead of you. Wish you all the best of luck at your son's game and all of that. And I'll see you later on this afternoon down at the gym in Cadillac.
All right, looking forward to it, guys. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate all you guys do for Northern Michigan Hoops. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Coach.
Coach Ryan Benzenberg of the Cadillac Vikings there. Very full schedule today, JC. Coaching sons games, we've all done it. I've coached my daughters in basketball.
Yeah.
And it just makes for a full day, and you're hosting a big showcase, memorial tournament, and having a little bit of a reunion as well later on. So
yeah, that's
packed it full.
I was unaware that they went to 3 state Final Fours. I do not believe they ever won the state championship there.
Right, I don't think so either.
But that's remarkable in itself.
Yeah, Final Four, absolutely. Nothing to sneeze at for sure to get down to the Final Four. And so that history of Cadillac basketball is pretty good.
Yeah, going back to the real quickly, Rich, being part of the Catholic League, we had the Catholic League tournament, so we always had extra games.
Yes.
Leading up to, if you qualified for them, and,
yeah.
When I was playing, we did. So that was always, kind of like tuned you up for the state tournament.
Right.
You got a chance to play a couple of teams that were really good, and so you knew pretty much where your team was before you started the tournament, which isn't really the case for these other teams. So I think that in the back of my mind, that's part of a good idea to have all these showcases.
Yeah, I do too, exactly. Because again, getting back to them losing to Whitehall, when you play really good teams, there's a chance you lose. JC, sometimes going into tournament play, if you haven't lost all season long, it has that added pressure and weight on your shoulders of, oh, this team's undefeated. No one can beat them. They could do this, they could do that. Again, that's why I think sometimes suffering a regular season loss and the kids feeling the sting of that can help motivate you, propel you even further in the tournament.
Yeah.
But it depends on your team, though, too.
No, I just anything can happen in basketball. I think it's a little different than football. If you're a 3-4 team in football and the undefeated Benzie Central team is coming out of the field, you're like, whoa, we're going to have to play. And you've got so many more people that are involved that all have to play at a high level. It's kind of like what we were talking about yesterday with the Lions. A lot of the players are going to have to play really good football to win. Exactly. You always got to play well as a team in basketball, but somebody gets hot. I saw the Gilo kid had another huge game the other day.
Right.
That changes everything. Basketball, when you see a 1 seed fall to a 16 seed, that's just going to happen more and more.
It is, exactly, because like you said, we talk about it quite a bit. Sometimes you're just making shots, and a team that's good but has been inconsistent all year. All of a sudden, things just come together at the right time, and 3 guys get red hot. And like you said, a team that you really had no business losing to, it's going to happen.
It's just ball.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Hoosiers. The rim is 10 foot tall.
It is,
Here's our court. And let's just see what happens. I mean, you get run out of the gym. I've been in games where we got run out of the gym, and there's been a lot of other times where you're just like, well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Exactly. Yeah, if there's no rhyme, no reason for anything, for sure. All right, when we get back, we'll have we'll have Doug Ballman here.
Yeah, after you can talk about the game a little bit. You referenced it briefly, the Dearborn TC West game.
It was a very interesting game, but when we come back, Doug Ballman on the line talking about that big game. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio.
The weather is brought to you by Roscommon Auto Recyclers. Quality auto repair, parts for older models, and service second to none. Roscommon Auto Recyclers on East Federal Highway in Roscommon and at roscommonautorecyclers.com.
I'm Doppler 9 and 10 Chief Meteorologist Tom O'Hare. Today's forecast, still lots of clouds, some patchy fog, and maybe even a little bit of flurry activity or some sprinkles in spots. That's all you're looking at. High temperatures back in the 30s to around 40 degrees. Tonight, just clouds, some patchy fog, and lows down in the middle and lower 30s. And for Sunday, getting a little brighter, some breaks of sunshine, a couple of flurries. Highs will be in those middle and upper 30s. Monday, partly cloudy, still in the 30s. Tuesday has some snow pushing its way through. Could be some wet, sloppy snow in some locations. 30s are expected, and then things dry back out for Wednesday, with highs staying in the 30s. I'm Doppler 9 and 10 Chief Meteorologist Tom O'Hare.
The Traverse City Record Eagle supports WCMU Public Radio in Traverse City with Total Access Record Eagle subscriptions. Total Access means home delivery of the printed paper, plus on-demand access to local and breaking news and other community publications online or on the app. Find out more at record-eagle.com/subscriptions or call 231-946-2187. That's 231-946-2187. The Traverse City Record Eagle proudly serves 13 counties in northwestern Lower Michigan.
What makes Benetham so special is that it's cozy and friendly enough to be your neighborhood hangout and distinctive enough to host special occasions and celebrations every day. That's why so many in the north will tell you that Benetham's is their favorite. Even the half-off happy hour menu has a dozen unique appetizers and cocktails. Visit benethams.com to make your reservation and enjoy a dining experience that is truly unique. Benetham's, for the true love of food.
Check into winning at Saguenay Eagles Landing for the We Rest Our Suitcase giveaway. Saturdays in January, you could unlock your share of over $52,000 in cash, premium play, and more hourly from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Then at 10 p.m., one grand prize winner will soar away with a $5,000 travel voucher and $500 cash. Saguenay Eagles Landing Casino and Resort. Real fun, real friendly. Visit SaguenayEaglesLanding.com for complete rules and details.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh Custom Purchase Experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you this morning. And JC, Traverse City West hosted the number 7 team in the AP poll last night, the Dearborn Pioneers. And boy, they put on a show, JC, as they jumped out quickly to a 16-0 lead.
You know, it's funny, Rich. I saw that you guys are going to play Dearborn, and we were talking about it a little bit, and how highly ranked they were and everything else. Dearborn has never been really known as a basketball area. It's more been a hockey and a football town outside of Detroit, and it's primarily Arabic.
Yes, exactly.
And Middle Eastern, and you don't think of them as being really fine basketball players, but you saw it firsthand.
I did firsthand. The head coach has 3 sons on the team, and one of them is a freshman, and he comes off the bench, of course, not nearly as physically developed as his older brothers, who are juniors and seniors. But those guys, both of those guys, I could see them playing Division I basketball for sure.
Yeah, you said they had a decent amount of size.
They did, yeah. I think they dunked 3 times on us.
Okay.
I mean, they absolutely, and they're athletic. They're tall, but they're super athletic. You know, no kids that are overweight whatsoever. They're lean and can jump and run. They look to fast break every time. I mean,
so they were a heavy pressure,
heavy pressure and run,
deny the ball lanes
Yep.
and the passing lanes.
Absolutely, and I think it shocked West initially when you come up against that length and speed combined.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's a real. You're like,
yeah, when you
what's
see a
going
team
on?
that's taller than you for the most part and they're faster than you, that's hard to recover
It is.
from
It shocks
in
the
game.
system.
You're like,
Yeah.
holy cow, we haven't seen this before.
Because even when you watch film, it doesn't do it justice because you got to get out.
Well, you
there
don't
and
even know
see-
how fast the other team is. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just like you got to get out there and see it and feel it for yourself. And man, it was a stunner.
That's what a couple people have told me about Jahmyr Gibbs, is that in person he's so much faster. You know, it stuns DBs when he gets into the secondary. Their angles are wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. You saw it against the
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay
yeah.
with an All-Pro safety. Cam Winfield comes up, made one just slight step forward to take it, and Gibbs then just beat him to the pylon.
You know, there's 2 things they say about any sport: you can't teach size, and you can't teach speed. And when you have both, look at LeBron James. I mean, that guy is so much faster than what his body type is like.
Yeah, it just shot because you wouldn't expect a guy that big and muscular.
Yeah, that was Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, the first time I saw him play, you could not believe that a kid that big.
Yeah.
And he was never skinny. Even in high school, he was never skinny.
Right, he had those broad shoulders, and exactly.
And the way he ran up and down the court while handling the ball, it took a while for me to figure out how to try to guard him.
Exactly.
And that's always been, that's always the case. I'm sure Coach Bauman called a timeout 2 minutes into the game.
He did.
You're like,
yes,
okay.
All right, yeah. Well, let's just
This might be a
regroup
double timeout, as a matter
Right,
of fact.
Exactly.
Let's listen to this interview.
Welcome back to the Source Julian postgame show. Rich Calkins along with head coach Doug Ballman. And coach, every once in a while you just need to tip your cap and say congratulations to the other team. They just played a whole lot better tonight.
They did, and they definitely came in with that ranking under their belt, and they lived up to it tonight. They moved the ball really well. Obviously, that 16-0 start put us in a hole early on, but after that, we competed. You know, we kind of chart the plus-minuses, and after that 16-0 run, we were only a -1. For the next 3 quarters.
Right.
And that was a difference. I thought we were more patient on offense. I thought we did a better job on defense, but early on we didn't get our rotations. We missed some shots, that we needed to fall early in the first quarter, and then I didn't think we did a good job of getting back in transition. So to get down early in a hole 16-0 to a team like that, that's a long climb out, and we just couldn't do it.
Now, Coach, again, I'm not trying to make excuses for the kids or anything. We have the last 2 weeks only played 1 game a week. For that, now tomorrow we get right back at it under 24 hours and play down in Cadillac. But before that, do you think you lose a little bit of a rhythm only playing 1 game a week?
I think so. Especially coming into a highly competitive game like this. Getting Mason and Quentin back into the rotations was a big help for us tonight. But you could see they were still just about a step off, and we just didn't sync as well as we have in the past, and that was kind of the big difference. I thought was our offensive flow was not there.
Right.
I didn't think we executed well. We didn't set good screens. We just kind of let their aggressive defense dictate us, and they did a great job. Give them all the credit. That trap that they have, and they're quick with their hands. They really made us work hard, and as a result, we missed shots.
Yeah, I thought down low once again, Gunnar Canty really played really hard, did really well. Wasn't intimidated by their size at all, and for the first little bit there was really out rebounding them and did a nice job.
Yeah, that was one of the things coming in. We really needed to get after it on the offensive boards. I thought Gunner did a great job for us coming in and getting some big rebounds for us. And again, we just couldn't knock down some of those shots. I thought we missed some mid-range shots we normally get. We missed some layups. But again, a lot of that was because of the intensity that they brought on defense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I kind of made an example of basically like they're like us, but like 6 inches per person, a little taller per se. But again, with the quickness, the height, the way they can shoot from the outside, they're definitely the real deal, Coach.
They are, absolutely. I think they're definitely going to be a team to be contenders in the state. There's no doubt about that, especially if they continue to shoot the way that they do and they're capable of. They move the ball well. They've got multiple shooters, and that hurts you because you're going to close out hard. They're going to get shot fakes and get to the basket, which they did both for us tonight. And then you help on the drives, and they get the kicks and knock down the shots. So, they executed their offense very well and knocked down shots, and that was the difference. We didn't execute well, and we didn't knock down shots, and that's the difference for us early on.
Well, Coach, the good thing is having another ball game, down at the Cadillac at the Showcase. Tomorrow we play a Sparta team, just a little bit over 500 coming into tonight's action. So a chance to erase the memories of this one and get back into the winning column.
Yep, and like I said, we were real proud of the guys in the second half, especially when they came out. They could have just folded easily, but to kind of dip into that lead that they had was plus 20. I think we got it down to maybe 15, 14 at one point, and they just never gave up. And that says a lot about this group, that they continue to fight, even kind of when their backs were against the wall like it was. But we're ready to do the back-to-back and give Sparta a run there, hopefully.
Yeah,
but,
no doubt.
Quick turnaround, but I got faith in these guys that they'll come out ready to play.
Yeah, you'll use the depth of that bench. It'll get utilized, I'm sure, tomorrow quite a bit. Yeah, JJ and I were talking during the game. We've been calling these games for 3 years now, Coach. Never once have I seen your team give in or give up at all. So that's a credit to you and the coaching staff and the kids that you have on the team.
It's all a credit to the kids. They want it, and you could see the disappointment after the game in the way that they didn't kind of show up like they wanted to, and that's just motivation for them, and they'll learn from it as a good team does, and get ready to get back at it.
Exactly. Now, Coach, the Fox Motors Motivated Player of the Game, we went with Wally Tupper. Was down there battling hard, got some minutes in there, and so Wally was, again, our Fox Motors Motivated Player of the Game, and you get the chance to name the Jimmy John's Player of the Game.
Jimmy John's player, Ben Hobbers was our highest scorer. I think he had 16, but I really liked the way that Lincoln kind of got after it today. He only had 13 points, but he attacked the rim hard. He played good, solid defense for us, so I think my Jimmy John's player will be Lincoln Lockhart.
Okay.
I think I'm down a couple parents, so I'll do 2 parents tonight. Tanya Anglin was our sponsor tonight there.
Okay.
For the game sponsor with her independent bank, and then Chris Core, Colton's dad. Again, parents are just a huge asset for us, and really appreciate everything they do for us.
No question about it, Coach. They do such a great job behind the scenes, and I'm sure you appreciate it greatly.
Absolutely.
All right, Coach. Well, let's go back at it tomorrow, and let's have a post-game conference talking about a win against Sparta down in Cadillac.
That sounds good. I think the boys will appreciate that, too.
All right, sounds
thanks,
good.
Guys. Appreciate
Coach
it.
Doug Bauman, thanks for joining us on the Source Julian post-game show.
Coach Doug Bauman there after the blitzkrieg that took place.
They took their medicine.
They did, absolutely.
There's not much you can say. I know old school coaches. Like, no matter how we would lose a basketball game, we'd just get our our butts yelled
Absolutely.
at. What the hell is wrong with you guys? And you're like, even the coaches got to go, well, that team is really good.
Yeah, and West had been playing good basketball. Came in on a 6-game winning streak. They're 9-1 in their last 10, so they've been playing well.
Yeah.
But it just like it was evident right from the opening tip. And the way this team ran and as athletic as they were and all that, it was like this was a different
It
monster.
sounded like they didn't take a lot of outside shots, Rich. They were always attacking the rim.
They attacked the rim, but they made shots. They had they had 3 or 4 kids that could drain the 3, and the ball movement was impressive.
We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, and TC West moves the ball around pretty good.
They do.
But there's a lot of teams that you've seen that's not really the strong point. It's part of the problem with Grayling. Even though Gaylord's had some success later on because Gilo's gotten hot. They don't move the ball around. A lot of teams get the ball stuck, and it's good to. I wish I'd have seen the game. I was too busy to pull up the stream and watch it. But it sounds like that team's got a lot of good fundamentals.
They do, absolutely. When Coach Bauman said that they're well coached, absolutely. They find a guy open, and when they're moving the ball so fast, and West has shifted, they did man, they tried to do zone and all that. And in that zone, when you're a half step slow, they found the big guy in the middle for some easy buckets again because they know it was well coached, it was coached into them. So they're not always just perimeter moving the ball. They're looking to feed it down low. And
with Anthony Rival out of that game, TC Central's got some problems today.
No question.
Yeah.
No question today. They're going to play again at TC Central's.
Yeah, so if you want to see the number 7 team in the state of Michigan play basketball today, folks, you can see them play Traverse City Central. I don't know if we have the time of that game. Part of me is like going, I want to go do that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
that's at 2:30 at Traverse City Central. So.
Yeah, exactly. Very good.
That's what I loved about the St. Francis showcase last year, being able to see Cass Tech in person.
Yes.
You just don't get those opportunities, and so this is a team that sounds. I don't know what their district is, and we should get their coach on the phone.
Exactly. No, that's a very good team. Highly impressed with them for sure. And when we come back, we'll talk to Traverse City St. Francis head coach Sean Finnegan. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh custom purchase experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. And thank you.
The 5-man electrical jam. Tesla. Tesla. Coming at you live Friday, March 15th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort. Tickets start at $44 and are on sale now at the box office and online at etix.com. Party hard, rock harder. Tesla. Friday, March 15th at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Do you have what it takes to design, build, and race a cardboard sled on Hanson Hills Bowl Ski Run? Build your best box sled and head downhill at Blizzard Fest, February 4th at Hanson Hills in Grayling. Registration is open from 11 to 1:30 and is open to all ages. It's just $10 per person or $30 per sled. It benefits Toys for Tots. Sled judging at 2:30, races at 3. Blizzard Fest, cornhole tournament, and food specials. Get all the details and rules at hansonhills.org.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you. And joining us now is the head coach of the Traverse City St. Francis Gladiators, Sean Finnegan. And Coach, really good battle in the Lake Michigan Conference last night at home, but you guys came up on the short end of a 57-51 score again to Elk Rapids.
Yeah. Tough one last night for sure. Tale of two halves for us. We felt good going into halftime, and then kind of felt like we were a different team when we came out in the second half. And credit to Elk Rapids, they shot well and pressured us a little differently. And just sometimes that's how it goes when you got a group still learning.
Yeah, for sure, Coach. And again, that's a team that you went to Elk Rapids in the middle of December. You went there and you beat them 46-37, and they decided to turn the tide and give you a taste of your own medicine, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit, and we knew at the start of this year that this league was going to be a dogfight. I said it many times to our kids that you got to win at home, we got to protect home, and of course our 2 losses in the league are both at home, so. Maybe I got to quit saying things like that, but yeah, it's going to be a dogfight. Now we've got a tie at the top, and we don't get a chance to play them again to, break the tiebreaker with them. So we'll need help, and we'll still need to take care of a lot of business ourselves.
Coach, when you mentioned that Elk made a couple of changes, defended you differently in the second half, is that something that you guys think about? Like, hey, we're doing this pretty well. They're going to try to figure out how to defend us differently. Or is it more of a mindset like, hey, this is working, we're going to continue to do that? I know there's not that much time at halftime, and kudos to them for making adjustments that, put you guys in a less advantageous position.
Yeah, we know what they do. So we expected, we didn't see as much of the trapping in the first half, but we expected it. We knew it would be coming. We talked about it. Our thing, I think, was a little more internal on our own end half the time. We were successful with our 5-out offense that we were running in the first half. We had a lot of opportunities in the paint. We had we played 11 guys, partly because of foul trouble, but we played 11 guys in the first half, and I don't think they all scored, but they all contributed, and the ball was moving. And
it's always good.
We kind of wanted to keep doing that in the second half, and in this offense we were running, we ran all year, so it was kind of frustrating on our end as coaches because we just quit running it, and it wasn't because we were telling them not to. So it was one of those nights where you scratch your head and try to figure out how to communicate, because we kind of just turned into a different team offensively and started watching whoever had it dribble, and ball wasn't moving, and it was very frustrating second half last night for sure.
Yeah, exactly, Coach. And as you're talking about that Lake Michigan Conference, Sean, as you have 4 teams within one game in the loss column. They're battling out with the Charlevoix, Harbor, St. Francis, and Elk, all 4 of you. So there's going to be more carnage here coming on to finish out this season.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not going to be easy. We go to Charlevoix on Tuesday. We're at Kalkaska Thursday, and we've got a non-conference game Saturday against Jackson Lumen Christi down at Mount Pleasant.
Wow.
But then we have to go to Boyne still. We have to go to Harbor still. I mean, we didn't make it easy on ourselves losing 2 at home. I can tell you that, because those atmospheres on a normal year are tough. Those atmospheres when you're tied or within a game of the league, it's going to be there's going to be a big target on us to take us out. I know that.
Yeah, Coach, and then, like you said, on the 10th of February, you're going to have your second annual showcase at St. Francis. Really cool event last year.
Yeah, we're excited about it. I've been talking to the coaches coming up, getting rosters, getting kind of some of the logistics figured out, and real excited about it. Hoping Central can get healthy and be able to show their best effort against Cass Tech. I know they've been battling injuries, and he's out again, so we'll see how that plays out. But either way, excited about the matchups, excited about filling that gym again, and if I can, a little spoiler, just looking ahead to next year, we're going to be independent next year, as you know. So I've started working on our schedule for next year, because we've got to fill in 22 games now rather than 8.
Right.
So I'm going to host 2 showcases next year. I'm going to host one in December right before Christmas, and then the February one as well. And then also I've got we're going to host a Catholic school tournament. Oh. And I've got commitments from Saginaw Deville and Lumen Christi to come up, and we'll probably do it in January, a Friday, Saturday, where 4 teams, 2 winners play on Saturday, 2 losers play on Saturday, and make it a little annual tournament, and should have some fun with that too.
Damn, Coach, I thought you were going to tell me Brother Rice. I was just waiting to hear that name.
Well, I haven't finalized the 4th team yet, so you never know. But
I'll give you Rick Palmer's phone number.
I've got to be careful too, what I want to put ourselves through as well. But you never know. We'll kind of announce final details as we finalize it. But we're gonna host some fun events next year, as well as obviously this year's showcase.
Yeah, Coach, and just after your showcase, you're certainly a proponent of playing tough opponents, Coach, as you're going to play McBain at home, and they're one of the top teams in Division III. And then also, you guys are going to host Cadillac late in the season as well. So, Coach, you schedule the toughest of the tough.
I guess I'm a glutton for punishment, if you ask some people. I don't know. But, you want to be the best, you got to play the best. And I've always believed that. And, some years you got to be a little more strategic maybe, but it's always nice end of the year to play a couple good tune-up games to get yourself, to really challenge yourself and get yourself as ready as you can be for that run. And, hopefully you learn some things and you put yourself in a position to make a run.
Coach, who's in your district this year and where is it at?
Yeah, so this is what you're going to really love because this is a new one this year. It's at Benzie Central, and it'll be us, Benzie, Lake City, Manton, and wait for it, McBain.
Okay, well, at least you'll at least you'll know
Normally
what you're in
we
for.
get to wait till regionals to see them, but now it's like, let's just have a bloodbath the first week. Why not?
It's weird. A lot of restructuring on the districts.
Yes.
We're talking to Coach Benzenberg. Cadillac's got a totally new district as well, and just about everybody.
Yes, they're heading to that Saginaw Valley League. So
Grayling's in a different district than they've been in the past. So, that's a good thing, especially if you make it out of districts.
Yeah, if we make it a district, regionals might not feel so bad. I don't know. Well, I haven't even looked that far yet, but if we're going to have to beat McBain just to get out of districts, then I guess you got to beat them eventually. So why not put them on there the first week? And and plus Benzie's playing good ball. You'd have to get past them too, and it's not going to be an easy road to get out of that first week. That's for sure.
Yeah, Coach, real quick, could you give us an update, changing gears just a little bit? How is Wyatt Nausatis doing?
Oh, he's doing great. He's really enjoying Boston. I believe we've talked that he committed to American University, which is Division I.
Okay.
They're out of Washington, D.C. They're in the Patriot League. So he will be going to D.C. next year
to play baseball.
To start his college career.
Is he playing baseball or basketball?
Basketball.
I thought he was okay.
Yeah, that's it. And that's what his.
No, he was the football basketball player.
Yeah, I'm getting him confused with the other kid.
Okay. Yeah, and Coach, and that's what his ultimate goal was to receive a Division I scholarship offer.
It's a great school.
And it sounds like that has come true for him. So that's great.
Yeah, he's excited. He took his first visit to DC there, and he loved the campus, fell in love with the coaches. It was almost, he was kind of going between Bucknell, Holy Cross. He had a handful of D1 offers, probably about 12 of them after the first few weeks being out in Boston. And then he said once he visited DC, it was obvious. His head coach was all-league defensive player at North Carolina. His assistant coach was a McDonald's All-American. So you got some guys there that are younger that have been there, done that. He's going to be able to come right in and make an impact right away, or at least have the opportunity to. Right. So he's obviously excited about that. And, he's been having a really great experience at Newman School too. They're playing teams. I think they're ranked right now in the top 5 in the country in prep schools. But they're playing team, the IMG Academy and teams from all over the country.
Right.
He had a kid that's, I think, going to Kentucky or something. He had the guard the other day, and I think the kid had 40 on him. He hasn't had that happen very often, but
sure.
It's an experience.
Yeah. Now, Coach, do you credit now that he's had 12 different D1 offers and where he didn't have any initially? Is it just a matter of the more exposure he's getting out there on the East Coast?
A little bit, yes. That obviously helps, but I think because of the transfer portal and the fact that you're able to get kids basically to come in older, by him reclassifying, he is now basically coming in as a senior from this year's class versus last year's class. So now he's another year older, stronger. That 1 year development makes a huge difference. And furthermore, he's been able. He's at a place now where yes, he has to go to class a little bit, but he's having a workout, a film session, and 2 practices a day. I mean, he is living, eating, and breathing basketball all day, every day. So just to be able to do that, he doesn't have football. He doesn't have some of the other things that, in high school are, I don't want to say distractions, but, they take away from your development of a single sport a little bit. And now, it's kind of like a pre-college year to, just focus on one sport and really see what he can become. And, I think college coaches recognize that. And, and then again, all those offers came from East Coast teams for the most part. I mean, South Alabama was in there, but I mean, most of them were kind of New England area teams. So I don't know. I'm still baffled a little bit that, I think our 71 schools in our state, not one of them threw an offer at them. I don't know.
Right.
It's funny.
I don't understand that, but that's not my job to, I guess.
I'm looking up Dwayne Simpkins, who's the head coach at American University. Played at DeMatha for Morgan Wooten. Was named one of the top 10 assistants at George Mason, who has a typically very good basketball program. So, yeah, it sounds like he's heading into a real good situation at American.
Yeah, like I said, he's excited about it. He fell in love with the campus and the coaching staff, and maybe I was off on which one went to North Carolina, but yeah, they've got a few guys on that staff that have been there, done that, and should be fun to play for.
Yeah, Coach. We always appreciate you sharing a few moments with us and giving us a little bit of a tale there about Wyatt Nausatis, and because he was so good up in northern Michigan for 4 years. It's really cool to see kids that love it so much, their dreams to come true. So that's great.
Absolutely. It just, and I push and help and try and help any northern Michigan kid get those opportunities, because, when you see 1 or 2 have that opportunity and get there and prove that they're worthy of it, and all that hard work pays off, I think that helps the other kids from northern Michigan too, because I think there's been a stigma for a long time that we don't play the same kind of basketball up here. And, I think we need to erase that a little bit, and the more kids we get to come out of northern Michigan and be successful at the next level, kind of helps push that away.
Yeah, no doubt, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us this morning. Best of luck in the Lake Michigan Conference and your 2 away games next week.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys. Have a good rest of your weekend.
We'll talk to you soon, Coach.
Coach Sean Finnegan
Thanks.
of Traverse City St. Francis joining us, JC. So very cool story about Wyatt Nausatis.
No doubt about it. He better go take his poli-sci classes.
Yes.
American University, like a third of the State Department in the government goes to American University.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I like I said, that's good for him.
Yeah, love to see.
But I agree with Coach. I mean, why didn't Central or Western or Eastern offer this kid?
Exactly.
He played in 2 state championship basketball games.
I just don't get it. And you watch him play, in the level of competition that he played, he stood out. It was obvious. I mean, the
only thing I can think of is that, he played with a lot of control. Not the fastest kid on the basketball court. So that to me, that it got to be the only knock on him. But not everyone, Marcus Sasser, who's played with the Pistons, does not play super fast. Neither does Cade Cunningham. When you can control the game without being a whirlwind, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't get it. It's good for him. You know what? He found his own pathway, and Patriot League is really good basketball.
It is. So. Had a plan and followed through with it, and it's going to reap the rewards of it. So that's great. So, okay, well, when we come back, we'll go over some scores, some boys and girls scores from last night, and look at what's ahead next week. You're listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio.
Hi, this is Bill Marsh Jr. Introducing the new eMarsh custom purchase experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh makes car buying fast and easy. Choose your vehicle and options, get an accurate trade-in value, calculate your monthly payment choices, and apply for credit. You can even schedule at-home or at-work test drives and deliveries. Start your eMarsh experience at BillMarsh.com. eMarsh. Welcome to easy. thank you.
The Traverse City Record Eagle supports WCMU Public Radio in Traverse City with Total Access Record Eagle subscriptions. Total Access means home delivery of the printed paper, plus on-demand access to local and breaking news and other community publications online or on the app. Find out more at record-eagle.com/subscriptions or call 231-946-2187. That's 231-946-2187. The Traverse City Record Eagle proudly serves 13 counties in northwestern Lower Michigan.
Well, winter is here, and so are Mahindra's tough-to-beat deals. Get 0% interest for 60 months and no payments for 90 days on all Mahindra tractors. Not even winter could slow down Mahindra, the official tractor of tough.
Visit your Mahindra dealer at Zaremba Equipment in Gaylord or online at zarembaequipment.com or Pioneer Diesel in Traverse City or pioneerdiesel.com.
On all models for a limited time only, go to MahindraUSA.com for more information.
Attention, Michigan Medicaid members and those using food assistance programs. Federal changes could affect your program benefits and coverage. Learn what the changes are and what they mean for you at michigan.gov/2023 benefit changes. That's michigan.gov/2023 benefit changes. Sponsored by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show, presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio. Rich Calkins and Jerry Coyne in studio with you this morning. And as we get ready to close out the show, JC thought we'd definitely go over some scores. And one of the games that we had highlighted yesterday during our Fick and Son Sportscape show was the Battle of the Highland Conference.
Yeah.
We had Beale City and McBain. Beale City came in with 2 losses, and McBain had 1 loss going into that game. Well, at the end here, there's no doubt who's the top of the
That's
Highland,
right.
as McBain dominated Beale City 72-48. So great win for them. We'll have to, Bruce Coltman is the head coach for McBain, and I have his number. Dave Sherbert and I used to talk to him on a regular basis. We'll have to get a hold of him, as he's, again, got a very good team. He's a former state champion. They've won it all at McBain. So it's a school with a rich basketball history.
Yeah, as we mentioned, they've got they're in the district with Traverse City. St. Francis is going to play St. Francis near the end of the year. So
right, and you throw in Benzie Central in that district and stuff. That's going to be a very good, very tough district. Also in the Highland Conference, in a low-scoring affair, Holton Lake beat Lake City 43-31. Also, McBain Northern Michigan Christian beat Roscommon 58-41. Some of the Lake Michigan Conference scores. A close one up in Boyne City with Harbor Springs winning 59-55. Grayling took it on the chin last night, a first home game this week, as Charlevoix came to town and beat the Vikings 59-47.
Yeah, it was a tough week for the Grayling Vikings. I believe they lost all 3 games that they played this week.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, they played Boyne City, then I think it was Elk, and then to finish up with Charlevoix. So 3 really tough teams. And we're talking to Chad Patterson, the play-by-play boy, so the way that they played a really good game against Boyne.
They lost it. They did. They missed a couple of shots. Got some bad rim luck.
Yeah.
And kind of got some bad calls at the very end of the game. When we mentioned it in the sports show about homering, and Chad's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "Okay." But we'll see what goes. I mean, hopefully, this is they're a mirror image of the team that made it to the quarterfinals a couple years ago. They played very uneven ball and then caught serious fire in the tournament, made it all the way to the quarterfinals. The team has the experience and the talent to do that.
Exactly.
They just got to put it all together.
Right, because some of those kids that were sophomores that are on that are seniors now, and so you're right, they absolutely have some of the playoff success experience there, no doubt. In a non-conference game that we were talking about a little bit yesterday, Gaylord had to travel all the way up to Marquette, and it was a long ride home as Marquette won 66-49.
Yeah.
And, tough. Long.
Maybe Gilo's not crazy about shooting outside of home.
Yeah.
Because all his big games have been at Gaylord.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, you saw what they did.
I saw what he did personally.
No, but they got beat pretty bad by TC West at West. Yeah,
right.
so I'm just saying.
Exactly. That's
some people like they like that home rim, baby.
Home rim, there's something about it, man. You get a feel for it. You know exactly.
You know
how
your
to
spots.
shoot it.
You know exactly where you want to get the ball and put it up. And he's certainly one of those. He's got a little Vinnie Johnson in him.
Yeah, I mean, when watching him a week ago against West, he was hitting fall-away threes with, again, like I said, they were contested all day long, and he just kept draining them. It was an impressive shooting performance for sure. Some girls action, JC. I wanted to mention Traverse City Central. They continue to lead the Big North as they beat Cadillac 46-32. We were able to call the West girls game last night, and West girls won a big one against Dearborn. So that was a great win for them, 41-34. So congratulations to the Lady Titans, a big win there. Sault Ste. Marie over Gaylord in non-conference fair, 65-42 in girls basketball. A close one across the bridge up in Pickford as Onaway beat Pickford 28-24. Also, around a little bit of high school hockey, Alpena beat Cadillac 2-1, and some non-conference hockey action. Novi, I didn't know Gladwin had a hockey team. But look at here, Novi beat them 10-4.
Okay.
And so I was shocked. I didn't know Gladwin had a hockey team.
Rich, I know everybody's been dying to hear it. Brother Rice won last night. They exacted the revenge. They lost a toughie to their crosstown rival earlier in the year, Detroit Catholic Central, 55-53.
They're getting a lot of love in the AP poll, by the way, Brother Rice. Even though they've lost some games.
Well, they lost to Catholic Central, who they revenged. They beat them 62-39 last night.
Yeah, that's revenge.
That's revenge. Before that, they beat Toledo Catholic Central 71-35. They're changing things around a little bit. They had lost 3 games in a row. They lost to East Kentwood in a showcase game. Lost to Orchard Lake St. Mary's, who's really good.
Yeah.
They got 2 kids that are going to go D1, and the guard there, Michigan State, Michigan. I mean, he's getting it all. Okay. Alabama, everywhere.
Is that right?
Yeah. So this kid is. I wish I could remember his name, and they lost to UAD Jesuit, who's got a really good squad. Well, they're ranked number 2 in the city of Detroit, right behind Cass Tech.
Okay.
So,
but they've got a lot of votes in the honorable mention AP poll. It shows you the respect they have for them, even though they've taken it on the chin a few times, knowing the tough conference that they play in. Obviously.
Yeah, they've got. We'll see what they do. They've got Orchard Lake St. Mary's on Feb 2nd. A couple people are saying, "Are you coming down to that game?" I thought, "No, it's Friday."
Yeah.
So,
right.
That's not going to happen. Saturday maybe. Friday no.
Yeah, exactly. All right, that's going to wrap it up here on the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show. Thanks for joining us. Also, don't forget to listen to Lions football tomorrow on our sister station.
Well, right here in less than an hour, the Detroit Pistons will be on Up North Sports Radio. They take on the Washington Wizards.
Going for a 2-game winning streak here, possibly.
Yeah. We'll see what that happens. And then 8 o'clock tonight, the Red Wings play the Stanley Cup champion Las Vegas Golden Knights. So, and the Knights coming off a game last night. Could be an outstanding chance for the Wings to pick up another victory and really kind of cement themselves as a team that's has got some serious playoff potential.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's an exciting time to be a Detroit sports fan for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. All right. We'll see you next week right here at 10 o'clock. You've been listening to the Northern Michigan Scoreboard Show presented by the Bill Marsh Auto Group on Up North Sports Radio.
This has been the Northern Michigan High School Sports Scoreboard Show, presented by Bill Marsh Automotive. Discover how easy car shopping can be. Join us next Saturday at 10 a.m. with host Rich Calkins. Nobody loves high school sports like Up North Sports Radio.
A fit for everybody. But he's a fit there. They got a quarterback. I think they're pretty close. They got to stay healthy. They needed a much better coach. They got those things. And there's no reason to believe they can't be a playoff team in the next couple of years. If Justin Herbert is what people think he is, like at some point, they got to make the leap.